time. I kept seeing M and I couldn't remember a mountain. Like, what was the other one again, that time zone? It's hard to be 100% fully, zingingly, zappingly aware every second of every day. The soul or the body and the brain need a break. Okay, so we'll head on this way. Center City up there. We'll head on South Street going west. This used to be a 7-Eleven, very short-lived, this 7-Eleven here. Maybe 3 years. It was opened prior to the pandemic, maybe 16, 17. And then boom, once the pandemic was here, gone. I think it closed during the pandemic. I came back in 2021. I was in Florida for 2.5 years and it was gone. I was like, oh, one of the few 7-Elevens that was new and clean. 7-Elevens can dwindle quickly into crazy smelling, places where all kinds of deals are made, I guess. Even if owners, or franchise owners or whatever it is, tries to prevent stuff like that. It's just a convenience store, and that's what happens at 7-Elevens. A little dog toy rubbery orange football in front of the Jeep Cherokee. So how cute is that? I wish I had a dog, that looks more like a dog's toy than an infant toy. It was orange, so it looked like gators are orange, and there's the Bengals. It looks more Bengals because it's super orange. Gators have blue and orange. The Dolphins, Gators are Gainesville, Florida, University of Florida. Very sports oriented, less like old school academic and more sports. Florida's very right wing, and also they focus on health and fitness more than academics. That's how it comes across. I'm sure that would offend a lot of people who go there. Hey, this looks brown. OCF used to be green. Is it still OCF? Oh, Blair's Beanery Cafe. It's not OCF coffee any longer. It used to be green, now it's brown and like a coffee bean, I guess. So anyway, but that's interesting to think about, that someone could be operating all day long, never did this with their left hand to say, oh wait, that's left. Why do I keep saying right? Right, left, right, left, left. And, they could be operating totally in reverse, if you will, or on a totally made up imaginary system, like Disney dollars or something. It's a small world after all. 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 It's a small, small world. So here we are, Penn Medicine. Over here, Good Shepherd to the right, Tuttleman to the left, Breezeway up there, Sharon Savings Bank all the way up here. I used to live down the street from Sharon Savings Bank. Was it a coincidence? I wound up there in sort of a very hurry up emergency situation in that apartment, and then I was made to believe I'd be murdered the 4th Monday of January 2011, shortly after moving in October. I think it was like August to September. I think I moved in during the summer for some reason, or late summer anyway, of 2010. But my niece wound up here in Good Shepherd during the pandemic, having to have a whole operation in relation to are they doing books? Community fridge. They have a community fridge here. They do have like sweet potato, au gratin, apples, tomato puree. Should I take a sweet potato? All right, we'll leave it today, although I do like sweet potatoes or Japanese yams and similar. But they now have a community fridge up here. Let me look. Every once in a while they do this. Oops, it's a little gross in there because the rain fell in. Oh my god, they have full-on meals. Performance meal prep. Oh my god. Alright, so I will leave it. It's mostly, they don't really have full-on vegetarian, although I see some where it might be, but I will leave it. But wow, if you guys need some serious meals. Do they know about it on the street? Oh, and frozen vegetables. I thought about making vegetable soup. Tofu even. Extra firm. Should I take one? I'm gonna have to take the extra firm tofu, and they keep it in the freezer. I need tofu. I eat a lot of tofu, so thank you. I normally don't take anything. Tofu is kind of hard to eat unless you prep it in a certain way. So these are hard as a rock, and so it's one of the cooler ideas in the city. They've done it in many larger cities. I haven't seen a cabinet in a while. I thought they sort of got rid of them, but hopefully this tastes okay. And I've never had frozen tofu, but it would make sense that it would be fine. Tofu is one of these things that it doesn't really go bad until after you put it in the refrigerator. Maybe it gets slimy if it kind of sits there for too long, maybe. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, community fridge operators. I might send a thank you through an email or similar. And got some tofu. And that saves me about $4.29, $4.99. It depends on where I get tofu. Usually that says extra firm. It's in a container that I usually don't get. I don't care though. I usually get the vacuum packed tofu, and it's Nasoya or Wildwood, and there's like one other, like 365 might, Whole Foods might have its own tofu in a vacuum packed, but that's okay. This is frozen, so I'm kind of curious. I have one vacuum packed tofu in there. Tofu can last me a long time. They're very large bricks, especially the vacuum packed ones, which I usually get. Every once in a while, Trader Joe's might have one for, if you're lucky, $2.99 or $3.99. You can get like 4 meals out of that tofu or more, depending on what you mix in. Like I put mixed vegetables. I'll put it on arugula, like as if you're having crumble I'll crumble it up and put it on arugula. Most people would like at least the extra firm tofu. And then if you use the right spices and similar flavorings, there's all kinds of liquid flavorings, there's spices, you'd be surprised. The texture is not bad. You might even like it. It's hard to explain. Back in the day, tofu became like a newish thing in the minds of the masses, and everyone pictured the spongy idea of tofu, like it's this spongy block floating, blocks of tofu floating in soup or something. That's not at all. If you get extra firm, that's not at all what you're gonna get. The extra firm has a tad bit more carbohydrate, so most people will like it because most people like carbohydrates. I do a tofu scramble, which is really good. You throw in nutritional yeast to add flavor, and maybe turmeric to add color, and it starts to look yellow like scrambled eggs-ish. Then you add mixed vegetables or whatever you want to add, even pieces of orange. I put that in the other day, pineapple, cranberry, whatever. So good. Put it on top of arugula. Oh my god, incredibly good. And occasionally, if you shave the tofu almost like a turkey, for a second your mind will be quote-unquote tricked, or will be made to believe that it kind of tastes like turkey. I put it on a sandwich. I didn't have ketchup, but I was like, if I put it on bread, if I had ketchup, it would taste like a cold leftover turkey